And this is one of that base they sit on now is one of the oldest natural prairie systems left in Washington, where they still burn it like we did, and they still take care of it. We showed them that. They still practice that for us. But
which base is it?
Fort Lewis, Joint Base Lewis McChord in Washington State. They sit on. We had 14,417 acres, and they took 2/3 of it in 1900.
That's our island.
Yep. 10,541 acres or something like that they took. And then they just kept building on that around us.
Yeah.
What they called surplus land, because nobody owned it. That's what they're doing to you guys. They're taking your surplus land. The government called eminent domain.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to do it again on an airport in our area. But then 3 tribes stood up and said, no, you're not, man. That is an environmental protection agency, and that's where our salmon spawn, and that's their habitat.
How did you involve the military in your honor walk? Because we're planning one too. That's like, so they just built a firing range.
I didn't start it. I don't know.
Oh, so you're just carrying it on.
I'm just carrying it on.
So we're planning one that's right out to. So next year there's going to be a marine base that's a marine base firing complex range with 5 different ranges that shoots over a national wildlife refuge and into the ocean, and it's right on top of our main aquifer.
And this government allows that to happen out there?
Yeah.
I don't think they give a shit though, really.
It's gonna.
I don't think
It's likely going to contaminate.
It's only gonna, we're a colony where they want our.
That king
And
still
it's
owns that little
protected.
island, huh? From the government. That's what I always say. These people who still fund what they did back in the 1700s. That's why they're in debt. They're in debt. They have to pay that debt off. And what better way than take it from the indigenous people and say, oh yeah, we got land here, right here. You can have this piece right here. And they deed it to the king or the queen or whoever they got the money from. That's what we're up against.
So when you do your ceremony, what's the role of the military? How does they just do a little spiel?
So there's this big, huge, they call it Lushai Town, where our chief, his name was Lushai. So they named this firing range after him. Our town, and then the firing range where it starts was the trail where we go through, and then we cut down into the valley and come across Muck Creek. And then that's where Exeter Springs is. And it was mainly because who started it? Zelma? It's been going on about
Yeah, probably
no
around,
longer than that.
I think it was
50,
50 years?
45?
60, 70 years.
How long is the walk? Or
It's 7 miles. I walk all the way along the ridge. And then, we come down the valley, go through, and then we come back up on top of the hill, and then we walk across the ridge. And that ridge is right there where we fought for it, we died for it, because they were trying to move us down into this little valley and get us out of the way.
and
So-
the military now was like incorporated into the ceremony and into the. Wow, that's amazing.
We try to host a meeting, an annual meeting with them. So we'll go over there, and then we make them come over here. But that's where the guy comes in and says, well, this is an unofficial meeting. I just want to make that official first vote. So we can't hold the words against the general. But our council is the one that pushes harder. So we always make the chairman, whoever the chair or chairwoman is at the time, that we still have to keep this relationship. Meaning, I want you to send an email, remind them of the walk, and then that's what me and my mom do. We remind them of all the walks.
Invite them.
My mom's the culture. I'm the one that just practices. I call them the boots on the ground. She gets to get all the funding from
That's all the logistics.
Okay. I see.
But then we make the shirts so they know, right? These are our paddling shirts that we use. That's the chief, that's the mountain, that's the canoe. There used to be a pattern where we showed the allotted land that they took. So we really try to highlight to them too. And then we give them a shirt to remind them of this. Make sure you make things that they have to wear. And then they're like, oh, okay, yeah.
You're
Oh,
thieves.
yes, yes. Wear the shirt so they know you took our land. We're not asking for it back. That's what they need to know. And the ones that come in, because that's what they tell. This is what they tell us so all the time. So I
Look,
just
the
got a
other
new
had
general.
water.
Yeah, I'm about to go get me
Yeah.
some Asian descent. Figured he would, really be cordial. And then somebody leaked an insider email that showed him what he needed to say to us. 3 paragraphs of what to say. And then 2 paragraphs, if they ask you these questions, you cannot answer these ones. Somebody showed us that.
Wow.
I got real pissed. So the plan is, and I've been telling these guys that we're going to protest. My father did it a long time. We used to go cut wood out there, and they said, "Oh, you can't come out here. This is the firing range." And my dad drove right through a firing range, drove around the trucks, big trucks they were shooting at. And then 2 of my uncles, MPs come flying down. You guys want a death wish or what? They're ready to shoot at them. My dad said, well, this is our right to come out here and cut wood. That's how we got him first, was cutting wood. Gathering wood for our sweat lodges, for our ceremonies, and to cook fish. Fish is very important to our people. And we cook it with the alder. Alder grows right along the river. All that place they took, that's where the alder is. Then, of course, the cedar. Cedar trees are very important to us, too. So my grandfather, he was in World War II. He was a paratrooper. And when he come out of the war, he realized he had a treaty that he read. Because he was on the deck of the Missouri as they were signing that with Japan. Yeah. And one of the generals did one of these things to him. A lot of them, because there was a lot of natives standing in line right there. After they killed all the captains in Pearl Harbor, they bumped up all the indigenous people and all the Hispanics and all the African Americans and became captains. Here, get in there. So my grandfather paratrooped in. That's what they called them, death from above. You know, bunch of guys coming down with an automatic MX. That's all he did, was wipe them all out. So that treaty, or even the information, because somewhere in there they documented how they took your land. That's what you need to find. That's what we found. We found the documentation of that. I know there's no treaty, and that's how they get you guys. That's how they're, and that's what's going on right now in that government.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with treaty rights, water rights, land rights. And land is the most essential right now. Yeah.
Well, in the Pacific, maybe the ocean,
Yep.
because it's
It's a big, huge training area.
yeah, it is the largest
Yeah.
military
And
base.
that's why they won't. That's why EPA won't come out there, because they know what they're doing out there is hurting the whales. It's hurting the dolphins. It's hurting all the other animals underneath when they have the high sonars from those. Talk
Right.
to Suquamish. Talk to Leonard Fordsman when you get over there. That's how they fought Bremerton. They can't. They're not allowed to do the sonars because they're killer whales. Killer whales are important, especially with the salmon and what's going on. So they got them to shut down a lot of the sonar testing. Because you could put a microphone in there and you could hear that sonar.
Mm-hmm. And then
It's horrible.
it is. Then you see all these animals washed off.
Yep. Yep.
What's currently the deadline today to respond to your comments on the missile defense system that they're putting up around our island force
Planning to.
sites? And with that, is if you live around the area, you have to leave your residence during the testing.
That's crazy.
It kept me up last night. I couldn't sleep just thinking about here I am at a Protect River Summit and have my own home. We may, families may need to leave their homes for however long. So they can practice war games. It's just so sad.